critics say to me so much. It's the ideology that critics say has taken over every corporation, school, and college campus in America. And now journalist Barry Weiss is calling for the end of DEI, or diversity, equity, and inclusion. Writing, quote, "It does not believe that America is a good country, at least no better than China or Iran. It calls itself progressive, but it does not believe in progress. It is explicitly anti-growth. It claims to promote equity, but its answer to the challenge of teaching math or reading to disadvantaged children is to eliminate math and reading tests. It demonizes hard work, merit, family, and the dignity of the individual." Greg, I want to come to you first about this, because I do think, and Barry Weiss has obviously gone through quite a transformation from her uber liberal days to where she is now. But I do think that this argument that society, to its detriment, has been set up now as just a battle between the oppressor and the oppressed is having more resonance with more people, especially in light of what's going on in Israel.
Yeah, it's a delusion. It's a brainwash. And it can be applied anywhere, and basically it argues against any kind of achievement because you're constantly blaming anybody who was successful as if they took it from you. DEI pretends to be an earnest effort, right? But it really was just a corporate play to counter accusations of greed. Like for every $25 million bonus a CEO gets, he starts another equity effort. But it ends up hurting the bottom line. If you're a shareholder, you can't abide by a company that puts profit draining over profit making. I mean, you look at Bud Light, you look at Disney, you look at Victoria's Secret. The consultants and race hustlers are the only people that make money. Nobody else does. You have to understand that equity is the opposite of equality. It picks losers and winners independent of skill, achievement, or experience. It's equality from above, which means coercion. You have to get everybody down to do the same so the standards are lower, because individuals are individuals. They have different skills and sets. That's why you have equality of opportunity. Equity is the opposite.
Dana, do you think we will see a shift back to talking about equality versus equity now?
Probably. I mean, and when anything Barry Weiss writes, I will read. I think that she's just an amazing voice of our generation. But I point you to also to, I think it will matter because some of the stuff is getting taken to court and they're winning. So in the Wall Street Journal today, I just remember this, there was a editorial about Tennessee's racial podiatry,
Yeah.
Okay, podiatry rule. So basically it was a group called Do No Harm, and they are dedicated to eliminating racial discrimination in healthcare. And there's 2 board seats that come up, but basically it said only people that meet the racial mandates can be doctors on this board, which doesn't make any sense.
That's no easy feat.
So Do No Harm is a group that is helping file these lawsuits to make sure that actually this kind of thing, that is not right, that is not constitutional. So I do think it will change, partly because of all the things that Greg just said, but also because the courts are starting to get involved and groups like Do No Harm are starting to win these lawsuits. Or even before you have to bring a lawsuit, if Do No Harm calls you tend to back off.
And companies are eliminating these roles, right? There was this huge surge after George Floyd was murdered in 2020, and that there have been all these pieces saying that they're quietly taking down the DEI.
It's good for shareholders because I was sucking a lot of cash out of these companies. You can't have perfect representation. You can't have equal outcomes. It's impossible. And just because things are the way they are, Jessica, doesn't mean someone's being discriminated against. Thomas Sowell writes this in Social Justice Fallacies. Sports and entertainment, Jessica, overrepresented by the Irish, blacks, and Southern whites, doesn't mean there's discrimination. Wine producers and chefs, overrepresented by the French and the Italians, doesn't mean the English are being discriminated against. Whiskey and beer industries, overrepresented by the Scottish and the Germans. You don't find as many successful Jewish people in the steel or